Welcome to Washington Whispers. I'm the editor, Paul Bedard. Well, let's start with the hottest topic in Washington, the state dinner gatecrashers. A recap. Two socialites tried through a Pentagon friend to get an invite. They apparently thought they got one and showed up at the White House where they talked their way inside. Now it seems like everybody is investigating how did they do it. One thing is clear, the White House social office fell down on the job and some are pointing an accusatory finger at the director, Desiree Rogers. Here's why. In the past, the social director has made sure to station aides at the gates on party nights to verify the name of all the guests. I know what happens because for things like the White House Christmas parties, I've always had to give my name and ID to the social office aide before passing through to the Secret Service. This wasn't done for the state dinner, and it's a very basic thing. Also, some are sneering that Rogers was too much of a focus of the dinner and not a workhorse. For example, she wore a fashionable dress that some say outshined the First Lady, and that's a very big no-no. Still, don't look for her to be removed like some have suggested. She's a friend of the Obamas, and everything else she's done has been a smash hit. Insiders say they'll just chalk it up to a lesson learned. You know, if this had happened in the Clinton days, critics would have made it an even bigger deal, and conservative public advocates like Larry Klayman, who founded Judicial Watch, would be subpoenaing the internal emails. You don't remember him? Well, he's the guy who uncovered Filegate and Chinagate and then went on to probe Dick Cheney's Secret Energy Task Force. It's all in his new autobiography called Whores. Well, he left to run for the Senate in Florida, and he lost, and now Larry's returning to Washington with a new group called Freedom Watch, and his goal is to take on the Obama administration. He tells me, quote, "I feel the country needs somebody like me," end quote. Look for Klayman to focus first on the internal White House handling of the health care plan now moving through the Senate. All right, I got a bunch of tweets this week, starting with who should play President Obama in Hollywood. We had a chance to get up with Morgan Freeman, who plays Nelson Mandela in Invictus. He suggests Denzel Washington would be the best. Next, PETA struck again this week with a sensational ad. This time for their Be an Angel for an Animal campaign, they had Playboy bunny Joanna Krupa pose nude, hidden only behind a very big holy cross. And man, did the Catholic League go nuts, calling PETA a fraud. Next, we saw House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer dropping his shirts off at the cleaners. All right, probably sounds like nothing, but for a guy who can have an aide do just about anything he asks, it's another example of what a regular guy the Maryland Democrat is. It doesn't end there. He mows his own lawn, shops at the supermarket. I understand he likes Dinty Moore beef stew. And he even put up his own Christmas decorations after Thanksgiving. And how about this? The White House hosted an Iron Chef America contest that'll be shown on January 3rd on the Food Network. It pitted White House chef Chris Comerford with Bobby Flay against Mario Batali and Emeril Lagasse. I don't know who won, but I do know the secret ingredient. It's stuff from the First Lady's garden. I hear Bobby Flay was the life of the party. And finally, more details on that NRA wine club I told you about. 10% is going to go to the NRA. So why wine and not beer and not whiskey? Well, a spokesman tells me after a day of hunting or shooting, NRA members like the freedom to choose an adult beverage of their choice. Well, cheers from Washington Whispers. I'm Paul Bedard.